Okie dokie pokies. Everybody, welcome back to the Player's Edge podcast with Terry, Shawn, and myself. Unfortunately, it's sort of like Dave Kingman on Thursdays lately. We've been striking out trying to get a guest, but who needs a guest when we have Sherry, half Shawn, half Tom, half Terry, half Shawn. We have Shawn. We're going to try to do our best to find some winners at what Shawn calls the horse racing casino. That is Kentucky Downs. I put it in there as the Racing Roulette. And there's 3 $1 million races at Kentucky Downs, which is going to be a fantastic thing. That's this Saturday. So we're going to try to do our best at the $3 million races, see who can bring some wins in. And tonight we're going to do something a little bit different than usual. We're going to have a little bit of a competition to see if Shawn, who thinks it's a casino, can beat either Terry or I with his picks. But there is a catch, which we'll find out in just a little bit to see who, if Shawn can get us or not. Terry, are you going to let him beat you, or are you going to protect your house, Terry?
Oh, no, I'm protecting. I'm very competitive.
Terry's in suspense, too. He has no idea.
I have no idea.
He doesn't. He's been asking like 42 questions before we get started. Shawn, where are your picks? Shawn, where are your picks? I didn't see your picks.
I told you yesterday he would ask that.
I know you did tell me right away. Immediately when Shawn and I talked about this.
When I got home today, I looked then, and I looked about 4 more times since then.
Well, you're not sure what you want to do until you get Shawn's picks there,
Oh,
Terry?
no. I always have mine done before I see his.
All right. So before we move on today, kind of a funny day today for Tom and I at Kentucky Downs. In that last pick 5, I did not win the pick 5, which is almost impossible considering I had the winner as my first pick in 4 out of the 5 races. And the one I missed, the pick was my second choice.
Yeah.
And it finished the second choice first in the only race that I singled. And Tom and I talked a little bit about this afterwards on email. And you know what? It's just poor ticket construction on my part, something you learn from as a player, because when there are only really 2 horses in a race, you have, I think you have 2 choices. One, you either have to make your ticket with both of them in the ticket, or you got to throw out the one that's the heavy favorite. You and I have talked about this before many times in the past, Terry. And unfortunately, I singled a heavy favorite, didn't build my ticket around either both of them or kicking out the heavy favorite. And had I done that, I would have won 5 for 5 with the top pick. And anyway, I'm sure a lot of people put the 5 in there. I hope a lot of people hit it, because with the 5, I think for 50 cents, it paid $4,000, which is a pretty good number.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Anyway, well, we're not going to do any pick 5s. And I know that on Saturday, Chris and Eddie, I believe, will be filling in some of what we're not doing with the Breeders' Cup race. I mean, with the Kentucky Down races. Charles may or may not bring out his first show for the Breeders' Cup, Winning You're In, for more in-depth analysis, which we might see on Saturday as well, or Friday night. All right, but before we do that, to any of that stuff, one other thing. Picks with the Professor. Make sure you check him out. We'll put a link in there. There'll be some college football this Friday, I think. Shawn, tomorrow, right? There's probably some college football.
There's a couple games, yeah.
There'll be some MLB games, of course, every day. And then tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern, Shawn, Jared, and myself will be back to do our first week of NFL. Although Shawn does have one pick tonight, he's going to be sweating it. The Buffalo Bills -2.5 on the road for 2 units. Betting against home dogs, man, that's a good way to get run over and lose a leg. I'm not interested in that, but should have went the under, all of us.
Yeah, Buffalo was dominating 10-0. The Rams got a touchdown before I came down here, so I know it was 10-7. It was nice, though. Little DraftKings had that you get up a touchdown and you win automatically, so I won that already.
So Shawn's already a winner. How about that? Beautiful. All right. So for us tonight, let's see if we can win. The first race coming up is 1 mile. It's a turf. It's the WinStar Mint Million Stakes, grade 3, purse for $1 million. I think this might have been one of those races that got canceled, so got moved over. I'm not 100% certain. As I look at the pace of this race, I don't really see what I would – I mean, there are some horses that can be on the front, but there's not a single horse in the race that absolutely needs the front to win. The speed horses that are in this race can run from off the pace, off the lead, and still capture the W. So I think this is a race where it's going to be tactical in terms of where you're placed. What do you think, Shawn?
I'm going strict. You know how I'm going, so I'm not even going to.
So what do you think, Terry? Did you take a look at the picks?
All right.
You know what's funny, Chris? You're hoping that Shawn had a bag with numbers for his picks tonight. You might be a little bit surprised.
Yeah,
or maybe not.
All right, anyway, well, I like number 2, Pixelate. You know, he likes the turf, and he's finished in the money 82% of the time in all of the starts on the turf, and he's won 26% of those races. He likes this distance. He's been in the money 7 out of 7 starts at today's distance, and he's won 3 of those starts, and he is 1-for-1 at Kentucky Downs, where Joel Rosario rode him in his last win at Kentucky Downs and now returns to ride him again.
You know what race that was, Terry?
Number 5.
Yes, but no, the Pixelate's number 2. But
yeah,
that was this race last year. He's the defending. He's the reigning, defending.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, and then I like number 1, Mr. Dumas. He has finished in the money in his last 8 starts, and he's won 2 of those races. He has improved his speed rating in each of the last 3 races. He has a good trainer-jockey combination. Then I like number 4, Some Like It. Some Like It of Brown.
Some Like It Hot Brown.
Yeah, Hot Brown. That's it. He goes to the front and has plenty of speed to try to lead all the way. He won his last race at Saratoga, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The only negative I see with him, he's never won at a mile. And then number 7, my 4th pick, Atone. He is very versatile. He can either go to the front or come from behind to win a race. He has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. This combo in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 9 starts.
All right, before we get to Shawn, usually I'm last in order, but Shawn's going to be, we're going to save, as they say, the best for last. I think this race sets up really nicely for Some Like It Hot Brown. It's really not the way to win at Kentucky Downs speed, but Some Like It Hot Brown. Maybe Chris, you can verify this. I'm not, but I think when you go ahead and you run your numbers, you'll find out that Some Like It Hot Brown has a strong edge early, and if it gets the right fractions, I think could beat the track bias. And like I said, doesn't necessarily need to be on the lead, but I think it could get away from the pack and make it difficult for others to catch. As I mentioned, Pixelate is the defending, reigning champion. Hit the board in 7 of 8 at the distance. I also like Mr. Dumas, as Terry does. Finished in the trifecta 8 races in a row. Stole that finishing in the trifecta stuff from Shawn. Thank you very much. And it is a very consistent performer, Mr. Dumas. And finally, Atone, making the 3rd start off a layoff. And if you rewind the resume a little bit, you'll see that the 3rd race in the 3-race cycle, many times that horse absolutely spikes higher. All right, Shawn. I know that our friend Chris said he was hoping that you would have a bag of numbers, but we're going to do better than a bag of numbers. You might have noticed when we brought up the banner, there was something a little bit different today in the banner at the beginning of the show. There was a deck of cards. You see the Royal Flush there. So I'm expecting Shawn to be unbeatable, just like the Royal Flush tonight with a deck of cards. So the ace is the 1 horse all the way up to 10. The jack is the 11. The queen is the 12. The king is the 13, and if we go past 13, you'll put some other cards in there. But I don't think that matters, right?
So I have three sets here, 3 certain. Right here, I got these. This is for the first one. I got ace to 10. Then I have the other ones out.
All right, so you got to shuffle them.
First, let me say, everybody loves Kentucky Downs. The issue with me with Kentucky Downs is handicapping kind of goes out the window. It's like a casino. You get the prices, but if I wanted to play a casino, I would go to the casino, and I'm just not a fan of the casino. So, and then the other thing with Kentucky Downs, does this drive you guys nuts at all, the camera angles? Like, how many times do you think your horse is home, and then they change the camera angle, and you still got a long way to go?
Well, the one thing that I do notice that that stretch does seem to be very long, because you see your horse feels like it's going to win, and the next thing you know, like 5 horses are by it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know where it's at. So, and then also, this actually fits in with football, too. I can't tell you how many football pools I've run or been part of, and people just do random stuff, or people don't know what they're talking about, and they win the pool. So, we're going to
colors, baby.
I'm going to try my luck. I'm going to be the hypocrite, and I'm going to try my luck at this. So, here's the cards.
All right, shuffle them.
I'm going to shuffle them. Terry, tell me when to stop.
Oh, he's on mute. Oh, there you go. Stop. All right. Take the top.
I'll take the top one.
His first pick is number 7. All right. Next pick.
Isn't that the favorite?
I don't know.
All All right.
I can't see that, Shawn. Number 5, 7, 5, 2 more, my man. And then the 4. Boy, we're going in order here. And then next, final pick. The ace, the one horse, the ace of spades. So Shawn is going to go 7, 5, 4, and 1 with his picks based upon the cards. Terry, if he beats either one of us, I think we should retire. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And the 7 is the favorite. So,
and that's pretty funny. It's, just straight up random. Let's see how it works out.
And if I was playing, I would probably go with you with this. I'm like at Hot Brown. I've made a lot of money off that horse, and I did glance real quick. He does look to have a pace advantage.
All right. So the next race we're going to do is race number 9. I was thinking about this. We're going to do a few more of these like challenges going forward where we use some random silly way to pick numbers against our picks to see who wins. And we'll find some very interesting ways. One of the things that I want to do, however, is pick certain tracks and kind of involve personalities from that track in doing it and making it more like a vlog and a story than really just about just the pick. So I think it'll be a very entertaining concept. We're going to give it a try. Hopefully we can get it cracking by the time the year starts. And if we do, if you like what we do in that, please let us know so that we can do more of it. See, this is like a magic trick. I'm impressed. Did you like that?
Yeah. But what's funny is I'm not no card master at all. You see how I'm shuffling there.
We pull the favorite on the top. You're one of those guys at the casino that whenever he needs an ace, it comes up. What do they call those guys who hide the cards in their arms? Sharks? You're a shark, Shawn.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I can't get away from the favorite even when I try to just pick random.
They're Terry's cards. All right, race number 9, 6 furlongs. It is the FanDuel, Shawn's new home, turf sprint stakes race, a grade 2. And again, the number at stake here is $1 million. Whenever I say $1 million, I can't help but think of Austin Powers, right? I don't know if he said $1 billion or $1 trillion or what his number was, but it started with 1. I know that. Again, looking at this race, this one sets up a lot like the last race did. I don't see a whole lot of what I think are horses that need to be on the lead to win. I see the 1 and the 1 horse being 1 here, Johnny Unleashed, that might get forward. Doesn't look like it necessarily on paper, but his early pace number says that's one that's likely to dictate the pace. You got the 5, the 8, the 11, and the 12 that should sit right behind the leaders, be tactically placed. And then if any of those of that quartet have any late pace, one of them might be able to get in there and find the winner's circle, Terry. Now the pressure's on you because we're playing against Shawn in the cards, right?
That's right.
So if Shawn in the cards beats us, Terry, you and I, we have to do something embarrassing as a form of repentance.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, I don't know what that would be, but we could try something. Maybe I'll dance.
Yeah, I don't think people will ever want to unsee that.
No, right. I don't think so either. But let me tell you, though, I like this race, and I like the number 12, Arrest Me Red. He's finished in the money in his last 6 starts, and he's won 4 of those races. He's trained by Wesley Ward, and Wesley Ward wins 31% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to compete again. And he's ridden by jockey Irad Ortiz Jr., who's really been riding well, except for the one race today. Anyway, number 8 is my second pick, which is Brand. He's coming from Southern California. I love those horses that come from Southern California, of course, because I am a Californian, but also they do very well. And he's done very well in graded races out there. Should improve while returning to a sprint. Has a good 5 furlong workout on September 2nd. He is versatile, where he can come either from the front, as he did winning the Grade 3 Daytona, or come off the pace to win a race. And then I like number 13, Artemis City Limits. Has finished in the money in his last 10 starts. He's won 2 of those races. He has jockey Tyler Glaffione in the irons. He's trained by Michael Maker. And this combo in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 9 races. And then I like number 5.
Should be also noted that the 13 isn't also eligible, so may or may not race.
It is. That's true. And then I like number, let's see.
I shook you up there, Terry?
Yeah, because I also have in that race, I realized that. So let me get back here real quick. Then I like number 5, Arzak. Was beaten only 3/4 of a length in his last start at Saratoga after being bumped in the stretch. He won a grade 3 race at Woodbine. Then he finished second in a grade 2 race there, only losing by a length. Now, if 13 gets scratched, I want to use number 6, Glenn County, a big long shot. I want to use him because he's finishing the money in both of his starts at Kentucky Downs, so he likes that track. He won one of those. He's trained again by Michael Maker, who has 3 horses, I believe, in this race, and he likes this distance.
And none of them will win. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and race number 9 here, the $1 million Turf Sprint Stakes. I'm going to start off with Arrest Me Red, too. There's 3 wins in a second and 4 races at the distance. Clearly, 6 furlongs is the right distance for this. Beat a lot of the horses in this race already. Irad gets this one right, doesn't blow the turn like he did today in the stakes race, keeps that horse a little bit tighter, doesn't let a horse make up about a length or length and a half. Speaking of which, I saw Joel Rosario get bounced from a race today, get DQ'd, and what he did, I've seen a lot of people, Irad, get away with in New York. So maybe if they were racing in New York, he would not have got DQ'd. And the DQ on that 7 cost me my Box It Up, which would have been a really nice Box It Up trifecta with like a $19 horse on the top of the ticket. But so be it. They're not racing in New York. So, and Joel got DQ'd. All right. So for me, after Arrest Me Red, I'm going to go, this is Kentucky Downs. You got to have prices on your tickets. So I'm going to go prices away pretty much the rest of the way, except for maybe number 2 here, Chewing Gum. Chewing Gum finished behind the top choice 2 times in the 2 times that they met, but wasn't really by a whole lot. Joel owes Irad a beat to make up for the DQ today. He's going to do that with Chewing Gum. Number 10, Totally Boss. Now we start to get to the little bit of prices. 12-1 morning line with Florent Giroux in the line, stretching out, and I think this horse will step up his output in his second race after layoff. And if you look at some of those shorter races, it's closing at the end. So I do think that extra half a furlong is going to make a little bit of a difference there. And then we're really swinging for the fences with number 3, Necker Island, has a plus advantage with his late push in this race and the best combination of early pace and late pace. So we're going to go 12, 2, 10, and 3. And now we're going to see what Shawn's cards have to say.
Well, I have 2 jokers in here for the 15 cards.
Now, are you talking about horses. Me and Terry?
Yeah, I added you guys to the deck.
So now we'd have 4 jokers.
All right, somebody tell me when to stop.
All right, stop.
All right.
So race number 9, the Queen is what? 10 is 10, 11, 12, 13.
11.
That's 11?
No, it'd be 12.
Jack would be 11. That's number 12. Yes, number 12. Yeah. All right.
That's the favorite again.
The 12 is not the favorite, is it? Now you got the
11. Me red.
12, 11. Oh, yes. Shawn can't get away from the favorites. You know what? He's going to kick our ass with the 3 next. And then the 10. So Shawn's he's got those 3 outside horses, which, at Kentucky Downs, the outside wins a lot. So those inside horses tend to struggle a little bit. Terry, I think you and I could be in trouble here a little bit with Shawn pulling the favorite off the top. I think the deck is stacked, Shawn. You got the favorite because we can't see your sleeves, my man.
No, they're all, all mixed up here.
Either that or he read my computer because that's what I picked was the 12. So.
Could be. Next race we're going to do is the final race of the day in our experiment. Shawn versus Terry and Rich with the deck of cards. This is the Kentucky Turf Cup Stakes, grade 2 for 1.5 miles. And again, Shawn's probably really disappointed he's not getting to make picks tonight because one of his favorite horses is running in here too, right, Shawn?
Which horse is in here? I didn't get to look at it. Yep.
Yeah, Goofo.
The Goofo. All right. So looking at this race, I got to show you guys this because I should have put it on the screen like I normally do. But if you see in this race, the last race, I don't know if you can see that or not, but almost all of the horses are closers. In this field, you have, I don't know, what's it, 13 horses, including a couple, maybe one also eligible in this race. And all but 4 of them are closers. So this could be, go ahead.
Doesn't that seem to be like the last 3 or 4 races Goofo's been in? They've all been kind of closers that he's been in.
Yeah, well, this race is loaded with closers. So I think there's an opportunity in here for somebody to steal this race on the front, or maybe even at a price, maybe not steal it, but get off to a pretty good start, find their way into the second or third, and and make for those enormous gimmick prices that you're finding at almost every single race at Kentucky Downs. I know, Shawn, you find it casino-like, but the people who hit tickets, they're pretty happy to cash in on putting red on 35 and watch a 35 hit.
Yeah, and I'm trying to hit the prices with the cards, and here I am pulling favorites. It's not working at all.
But you're likely to beat Terry and I, unfortunately, right? Because those favorites will come in, and those back cards that hit are going to be the ones that make the make the prices. All right, Terry, final race of the card. What do you got? Besides, you're muted.
So, all right, I've got. I love Gufo too. That's number 8, and I have Gufo. I love these marathon races, and Gufo has finished in the money in 17 out of 19 career races. That's pretty fantastic. He's won 9 of those contests, including the last race he was in, which was Grade 1 Sword Dancer. And he had regular rider Joe Rosario, who's in the irons for today's race also. He likes the distance. He's 4 out of 6 wins at today's distance, and his jockey in the last 7 days has won 2 out of 8 races. Then I like number 4, Arklow. He in his last 10 races, he's competed in only graded stakes races. He's finished in the money in 5 of those races, and he won 3 of those starts. He ran second in his last race at Saratoga, only losing by a half a length after being blocked and altering his run during the race. He's trained by Brad Cox, and he's ridden by Florent Guerreau. And then number 1, Red King, won his last race at Colonial Downs. He is trained by Michael Maker. His jockey in the last 7 days has a record of 14 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, a third, and he has a bullet workout on August 31st in preparation for this race. And then my 4th pick, number 3, Temple, finished in 3rd in his last race at Monmouth Park, which was the Grade 1 United Nations, after bobbling at the break and being bumped pretty drastically. He has a high percentage winning trainer, Michael Maker, again, and the jockey, Irad Ortiz Jr.
All right. So for me, I'm going to start off with Arklow in this spot over Gufo. It's a neck away from being the reigning, defending 2-time champion of this race. So it's going to look to make it possibly 2 out of 3. Gufo last time out, and this is the reason why I'm taking Arklow. As you mentioned, Terry Arklow had some issues in that last start. But Gufo popped a really big number. He went from like the low 90s to like 110 on the speed gun from one race to the next. And if you look at the past performances, when he has that sort of, instead of building up to a number, just kind of pops to a number, when he has that sudden jump or a gap up, as they call it in the stock market, he tends to regress the following race. And he doesn't really win 2 in a row that often. So I think you're going to see some regression out of Gufo here. Highest honors is the next horse on my list. That is the 12 horse. Highest honors should benefit from the race shape here. And he's one of the few horses that in this race, and maybe the only horse really, that can win from anywhere on the track. So he can win from the front, the middle, or the back. So he's not going to be pace or race shape dependent. He's going to be where he wants to be, wherever he wants to be in the course of the race. And then finally, Keystone Field. This is going to be, I know when you look on the paper, it's probably going to look like the 2 horse is the one that's going to get to the lead. That is not at all what the pace figures say. Keystone Field is the one that's likely to be on the front. And I expect this horse could have a plus lead at the 2 furlong marker, the 4 furlong marker, and the 6 furlong marker. And what colors are they again, Shawn?
I don't remember.
Nor do I. That's why I asked you. But anyway, if he can get away with the right fractions on the lead, I think he's like 30-1, the 5 horse. And with that plus place, and again, not a lot of pressure on Ricardo Santana Jr. on this horse. If he can run right fractions, he might be able to steal this one on the front at 30-1. And you know what? If a horse stole one at 30-1 at Kentucky Downs, raise your hand if you would be surprised.
I think those poles are red, black, and green.
They are red, black, and green, but do you know which one's where?
Yeah, red's the first, black's the middle, and green's the last.
Yes, Google works nicely, doesn't it, Terry?
It does.
All right, Shawn, here we go, my friend. Race number 10.
We're shuffling them again.
By the way, it's 10-10 at halftime, my friend.
Yeah, I see.
And they just
Okay, stop.
All right, here we go.
Number 6, Shawn finally coming out with a price. Well, let's see what the 6's odds are. The 6 is, hold on. You're going too fast. 30-1. Hey, but Terry has that horse, the Glen County. All right. Then you got the 11 with the Jack. All right. So 6, 11. The 11 is, hold on. Let me see what the 11's odds are. That was the 10. What's the 10? The 10 is the 13. All right. And then
wait, no, this is the king.
Yeah. So it's a 13, right?
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
then finally, the 3. So Shawn going 6, 11, 13, and 3. And it is a competition this week to see if Terry or Rich can beat Shawn and the cards. And again, if somehow Shawn manages to come out as the winner. So what I'm going to do, we're going to put $2 to win across the $2 to win on the first horse for all of us. And then a $1 exacta box for all 4 picks and a $1 trifecta box for all 4 picks, and see which series of picks comes away with the most money.
Okay.
And if you win, Shawn,
now I get the bombs.
It's like Survivor Island. If you win, you get to knock one of us off for next week's show.
Now I don't get the favorites, but I don't get Gufo at all. So, man.
You guys hear that?
Yeah.
My dog. She's all excited about somebody coming to the door, I guess. All right, folks. Any final thoughts, Shawn, before we get out of here?
No, well,
what is otherwise a fun show, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how this pans out. Somehow I got the favorites in the first 2 of 3, and I don't have Gufo in the last one. So we'll see.
We'll see how it works out as well. Yeah. Terry and I will be back on Monday and Tuesday. We'll be covering Parks on Monday. Colonial Downs is closed now, so I'm not quite sure what we'll do. We'll figure that one out off air. And, of course, we'll let you know exactly what we're going to do by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And then while you're here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV, I think we're about 49 people away from getting to 2,000. So if you haven't yet, kindly please hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 2,000. Tell your friends about us. Want to thank the about 1,600 people who showed up to watch the Kentucky Downs race card today. Hopefully, you played all of our picks, but included the 5 in that late pick 5 and collected yourself about $4,000. I was too stupid to do it, and pretty angry at myself. Tom and I will try again on closing day for Kentucky Downs next Wednesday. Not quite sure what we're doing Thursday. On Monday, Shawn and Jamie will be back for Horse Center. Shawn, any sense of who your guests are next week? I know on Tuesday you're going to have, I think, a very special guest.
Yeah, so Monday we have one Susan Schaefer, or Sarah Schaefer. I'm sorry, Susan Packard's student. Sarah Schaefer, she's an assistant trainer to Safi Joseph Jr. And then Tuesday, Susan Packard, who will be speaking at the Santa Anita event about women in the sport, women empowerment. She used to be part of the Churchill board. She invented HGTV, a bunch of stuff. And then Wednesday, jockey Ronnie Allen Jr.
Yeah, so on Tuesday, if you're a female looking to get into the business, make sure you tune in, because it's your opportunity, man, to ask as many questions as you want. So I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic show, as all of them are. And speaking of fantastic shows, if you didn't watch last night with George Allen Bryant, you're going to want to tune in for that, because that was a lot of fun as well. Wouldn't you say, Shawn and Terry?
Oh, yeah, that was just 3 of us talking like the camera wasn't even on. There was a lot of things said there. So
yeah, I love the show. Absolutely love the show. And let me say, all of our guests are special. So.
They are indeed, 100%. I agree. And as are all the folks who take their time out to watch us. We appreciate that. And we mean that with great humility. You can do whatever you want at this time of day, or whenever it is you're watching our videos. We greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate all the thumbs up. It helps us with the algorithms. Our ratios are phenomenal. Thanks to you. Probably part of the reason why we rank so highly in the Google algorithm. So again, thank you for that. Again, tell your friends about us. It's a community. If there's anybody you want us to have as a guest, please suggest it here in the comment section. You can DM us at Horse Race Today. Shawn is pretty responsive in that respect. Follow us on Facebook and let them know there. We'll do our best to knock it out. Finally, Shawn, what's the Horse Racing Survivor contest look like right now? Is it about over?
We had 10 people left coming into today, and 9 people already moved on. We're waiting on one more jockey to see if he gets a win. I believe it was David Cabrera. I could be wrong, but it was somebody at Remington. And maybe all 10 people will move on to tomorrow. And I'm still one of those 10 people.
Look out.
And I'll also say, too, what you were saying there. I love our interaction with the guests. I love, setting it up. I also love the interaction with the fans. People message me all the time, and I'm okay with that. Like, I love talking horses or whatever you guys want to talk.
He especially likes the folks from Turkey that call him good friends. So make sure if you're in Turkey, make sure you address Shawn as good friend. He likes that. All right, folks, that wraps up for tonight. We appreciate you coming no matter what it is. Oh, one final thing. Thomas and I will be back tomorrow. It's at a Brewers game. Why anybody would want to go to a Milwaukee Brewers game and not see Shawn turn cards, I have no idea. But Tom and I will be back tomorrow for some Foreign Friday action. We'll be covering Doncaster and the Curragh. And the last couple of weeks, man, I have been on fire in the international horse racing. So you're going to want to fade me tomorrow. Play Tom because it's his turn to be due. Tune in for that at 1 o'clock Eastern. We look forward to it. Until then, we hope that no matter what it is that you're doing, it ends up, whether you play with cards or you try your best to make picks, we hope it all ends up in one place, and that is
the winner's circle.
Thank you, and have a fantastic night.